Okay, we're ready to start threading. I'll turn the lathe on, throw the clutch on. I know that you can't see everything from this view, but I'm going to attempt to photograph this from several different views. But the first thing we'll do is, this is already set at 0, and we're just about touching the work, and we feed it in just a few thousandths, and now we're going to wait until the number comes around, and we're going to catch it with our half nut lever, which is pulling this up, and it will stop there at number 2, and there we go, we caught it. Now the tool is cutting. I know you can't see that from where you're at, but when the tool gets into the undercut, I'm going to throw the half nut lever off. That stops the cut. Now I can back the cross feed out, move the carriage manually to the beginning of the thread, turn the cross feed back into 0, feed the compound in 3 or 4 thousandths, and we're ready to catch it again on the next number. Okay, here we go from a different view, and everything is set and ready to go, and I'm going to move the threading lever up when it comes to the number, which is right now, and now we're making a cut. I'm going to stop it when it comes into the undercut. Alright, I just threw the lever down. Now, at that point, I'm backing this out, moving the carriage back to the starting point, right there, and I'm going to move this back into 0. Never go past. Feed this in 3 or 4 thousandths, and now ready to catch it. I'll have to wait till that comes clear around again because I missed it. But you got to have a little patience. We're going to put a little dab of oil on the work when we return to it. It's just coming around to the number, and I got the half nut lever up. There's some oil. Just put some oil on. I know it's not showing up real well yet, but because we don't have much of a thread, we just scratched it so far. We're going to back this off, move the carriage back to the starting point, move the cross feed back into 0, move the compound in 3 or 4 thousandths, and now we're ready to repeat that, and we're going to do that many times. It could be 20 times. How do we know when our thread is finished? Well, when it comes to a full V, then you know it's about there, and we're just going to check it with a common nut. There are many other ways of doing this, but we're just going to use a nut for the purposes of this demo. Now I'm going to take about 6 or 8 passes that will not be on the video, just so that we have a thread starting to form. Okay, the thread is starting to form now. You can see that we've taken probably 6 or 8 passes, and at least you can see where the thread is. I took the oil and the chips off. I'm running it at a slightly faster speed now, but you may want to continue at the slower speed. Now I'm going to set the camera up on the back side and take a few more passes and see if that shows up any better. But I know some of this is probably hard to see, and I'm trying to film at the same time that I'm making a thread, so stand by. Okay, we'll take a few passes from this side and see what happens. I just engaged the half nut. I know you certainly won't see any threads, shavings coming off on this side. I threw off the lever, moved the carriage back, moved the cross feed into 0, move that up about 3 thousandths, engage the half nut lever again. We might be able to see some chips coming off. As it enters the undercut, I'm going to throw the half nut lever off, back out the cross feed, move the cross feed back into 0, move the compound in 3 thousandths, half nut lever caught on a number. We are advancing and threading. Throw the half nut lever off, back cross feed out, move the cross feed back into 0, move in 3 or 4 thousandths, engage the half nut lever, and we again are cutting. I'm going to put just a little dab of oil on there. Half nut lever off, cross feed out, move it into 0, compound 3 or 4 thousandths, and half nut lever engage. We're starting to form a thread now, but I suppose it might have already been 20 passes. Stop, cross feed out, cross feed. This view is just to show you what my hands are doing. I'm ready to start a pass. As soon as it comes around, I caught it with the half nut lever. We are making threads and chips right now. When the tool enters the undercut, I'm going to throw the half nut lever off, back out the cross feed, move the carriage back, bring the cross feed into 0, advance this 3 or 4 thousandths, and I just missed the number. I got to wait for it to come around the next time. Engage the half nut lever. You must never take your work out of the chuck or lose your reference until the entire thread is complete. Back out the cross feed. There's a lot of repetition here, but that's why I'm going over and over and over. Back into 0, advance 3 or 4 thousandths, get ready to catch the half nut lever. Engage the half nut lever. We're into the undercut. Throw the half nut lever off. Back out the cross feed. Move the carriage back to the starting point. Move that into 0. And add a few more thousandths to the compound. And our thread is about 3/4 done. Okay, this is our very final pass. I did not increase the feed. Just a cleanup pass. Then we're going to try the nut. Stop it right there. Turn the motor off. And the thread is looking real good. Probably not as good on tape here as what it is in real life. But one other thing I wanted to point out here, and then we're just about done, is that when we feed the compound in at, say, 5 thousandths, it isn't really going in 5 thousandths because we're going at an angle. You'd have to do the math and the trigonometry to figure out how far it actually is advancing. Okay, I took the final pass and got the nut to go on. Feels pretty good. Don't cut it too deep or your nut will be real sloppy. As I said, there's other ways of measuring a thread, but with micrometers and special thread micrometers and wires and things like that, using special gauges, but no need to do that for our purposes here. But if you crash your lathe or damage your tool, don't get discouraged. Just start over again and try it over and over again. One thing I didn't point out, when you grind your threading tool, it shouldn't come to too sharp of a point. I would hone the very sharp point off because there's a tendency for it to chip, because it gets rather delicate out there. Okay, now you know how to thread on the lathe by the single point method. I hope this was helpful. This is tubalcain signing out and saying so long for now.